So I'm out in the parking lot right now, just trying to get this thing taken care of. But all right, I think we're good now. All right, let me see now. See somebody saying something stupid in the chat. Let me catch this guy. Yeah, you're out of here. I got your flat tards, chump. Go ahead and take care of that. Where are my moderators at? No moderators here. It's all good. Okay, so what happened? I wanted to address this whole knowledge versus belief thing because there was a video that I did recently where one of the guys, um, some guy commented saying that, um, man, you guys really believe that the Earth is flat? Like that's just so unbelievable that we trust our common sense and we rely on our actual experience of the Earth. And I mean the whole idea of belief is that you would have to have a solid understanding to a degree, or you would just base your conclusions on things that otherwise can't be proven. We we rely on our common sense. We don't really have to believe that the earth isn't spinning. We rely on our senses to tell us. When we go outside, we can look up at the sky and we see clouds drifting along for, very slowly. So it makes sense that, well, let me see, the clouds are moving that slow, and yet we're supposed to be spinning over 1,000 miles per hour. If we're spinning at Mach 1, I'd like to think that the clouds would be moving a little faster than that. If we were actually um, flying through space and spinning at these insane speeds, the Earth is rotating 1,032 miles per hour. We're orbiting around the sun at 67,000 miles per hour. The sun's flying through the infinite vacuum of space at 455 or so miles per hour. Okay, that's fine. And then the whole Milky Way galaxy is also flying through space at some other speed of hundreds of thousands of miles per hour. But seriously, we see the same stars every night. Common sense tells you if you're moving that you wouldn't be able to see these same stars. People have, done these long exposure videos pointing their cameras at Polaris, and then, they'll put up the compilation of pictures that were taken over the course of the night, and it would show these perfect circles rotating around Polaris. And that's been done night after night by a lot of different people. So if we're doing all this moving through space, we shouldn't have one star that doesn't move or hasn't moved for all of recorded history. That doesn't make any sense. But we rely on our common sense. We don't have to believe that the North Star is in one spot. We know that the North Star is in one spot. We don't have to believe that the Earth isn't spinning. We know it's not spinning because we don't sense any motion. If you're in a vehicle of some sort and it's moving, if it slows down, speeds up, you're going to feel it some way or another. We're told that you wouldn't feel the earth spinning because it's constantly spinning. We were born at this 1,000+ mile spin. Okay, but I mean it doesn't stand to reason if you just sit down and think about it, and that's what a lot of people refuse to do. So what happens is a lot of people in society have come to a point to where our imaginations have been stifled. We're given this a large amount of entertainment, just things to keep us distracted. We're given video games at an early age. We don't go outside and play like we used to when we were children. We used to go out and ride bikes. We would go play in the dirt. We would take branches that fell out of a tree and play swords with those things from time to time. I mean, we used to have to actually use our imagination when we were younger. this, but that's kind of been curtailed in recent years due to this whole new proliferation of electronics. Now we all have devices, we all have our smartphones, our supercomputers in our pockets. Children have iPads and things like that, and they can work an iPad before they know how to read, in a lot of cases. So we're basically handing over our imaginative faculties to technology, and this entertainment. It just kind of numbs us to a point to where video games will do our thinking for us, or our imagination, or our imagining. It kind of slows down our imagination. And I noticed this in myself a while ago. Like, I'm like, man, I gotta sit down and try to exercise my own imagination. I play these brain games on my phone to keep myself, keep my brain a little more let me see, a little more focused, a little sharper than it would normally be, because I mean we just kind of go through the motions and we don't challenge ourselves on a regular basis. But what happens is we allow others to do our imagining for us, and then as a result we become lazy mentally, and ultimately we'll kind of outsource our creativity and our intellect to other people. And this is a phrase that we commonly get from globe believers. They always say something like, well, somebody figured it out. Well, how do you know all that? Well, somebody figured it out. They talk about space. Okay. What happens is they make these concepts so complex, so convoluted. They'll put these huge equations up on a board, and the average person who's been dumbed down through fluoride, who's been overly entertained, and who's lost their own imagination, has come to a point to where they'll see these huge equations on the board drawn out by these guys in these lab jackets. And they say in their mind, nobody really says this outside, they'll say in their mind, well, that's way too complex for me to figure out. These guys are way smarter than I am. They know all about these calculations and all that. So I'm just going to listen to them. I'm going to let them. They figured it out. They're going to tell me what's true. I'm going to believe what they say because they're smarter than I am, because I don't understand these complex equations. So that's what happens. The whole idea of that concept, it leads people to a point to where they won't even rely on their own intellect to any degree. So what happens is they'll just say, well, somebody figured it out, and then they'll let that person dictate to them. There was Nikola Tesla had that one quote, said, today's scientists have substituted mathematics for experiments, and they wander off through equation after equation and eventually build a structure which has no relation to reality. And that's what happens. That's what's happened. Okay. These scientists don't really do any experiments anymore. They just put a bunch of numbers on the board, and people just say, well, these guys must have figured it out, so this is what I'm going to believe. And that's what happens. So that's how they get their beliefs. We don't have to believe these things, because you have to believe in things that you can't prove for yourself. That's where the whole belief structure comes up to. So ultimately, because these smart guys figure this whole thing out, people ultimately outsource their own intellect to these guys because they're smarter, is what they admit to themselves. So these guys figured it out. I'm going to go ahead and outsource my intellect. And if anybody, like, I don't know, some guy on YouTube, somebody that says that the earth is flat, comes out and says, something contrary to what popular science says, then this person says, well, I can read or I can memorize and regurgitate what these smart people said, so I'm going to use what these smart people told me to talk down to these people with this alternative idea, because I'm smarter than they are. Because I can listen to what these guys figured out, take it upon myself to regurgitate what these smart guys said, that makes me smart. That's the mentality of the people that we deal with. And they walk around acting cocky, having done absolutely no thinking for themselves. And that's this is what we're dealing with. These people outsource their intellect, and then they'll just haul off and try to talk down to us. Oh, you really believe that? you flat tards. Ridiculous. What do you mean you believe that the earth is flat? In the heliocentric model, that can be compared to a type of religion. Scientism is what we call it. And yet it requires there to be more belief in the globe model than there is in the flat earth model. You have to believe in black holes. You've never experienced a black hole. You've never thrown anything into a black hole. You've never observed a black hole. You just have to believe what these scientists tell you concerning a black hole out millions of miles in space. You don't know about dark energy. You have to believe in dark energy because these guys that are smarter than you in these lab coats who understand these large equations written out on the board, they tell you about dark energy. You believe what they say, and you come back and argue this stuff, but you have to believe that because you don't know personally. You don't have any experience with dark energy. You see? You have to believe in the millions and billions and trillions of miles of distance out in space. You have to believe in light years. You've never measured a light year. You're just told these calculations, and it's basically all a matter of them figuring out what they wanted to put out to the people and then making their math fit what they've been told. They pretty much reverse engineered the whole thing. I see you, Dread. I'm saying, but that's what they do, and because they just take into consideration, they take to heart, they preach the gospel of scientism, or they believe in it so blindly that they'll come back and they'll talk so stubbornly to us. They'll speak in such condescending tones. You guys actually believe that the earth is flat. while we could say, oh, you guys actually believe that there are people living on the bottom of a spinning ball? Come on, man. I mean, seriously, you actually believe that they're actually going to send a probe out to Uranus looking for gas? Yeah, that was actually a NASA article. They're going to send a probe to Uranus looking for gas. They're just kind of screwing with you at this point, but people still believe it. They still believe it. Ridiculous, and I like to play this game. I'm the simple guy that's going to keep it simple the whole time. Okay, my thing is I like to just point out you can't prove what you believe on a small scale. On a small scale, you can't do it. You just can't do it. Here, let's try this. Here, let's make someone stick to a globe. Go ahead. Let's see. Make somebody stick to a globe. Go ahead. Try to put somebody on a globe and see about them sticking. Is it going to work? Put this little joker on Africa. I think he's going to fall off if I let him go. What do you think? Huh? What about that? What if I put him back in America? He's going to fall off, right? Isn't he? Yeah, I think so. You can't replicate that on a small scale. Now, can you? That's what I'm saying. At least what we believe. Here we go. We believe that everybody is standing straight up and down, just like we see in reality. This little joker is standing upright like everybody else, period. So seriously, how is it that you can sit here and tell me that we're the ignorant ones when you can't even prove what you believe on a small scale? Seriously, we all walk upright. We all understand that there is an up and a down, period. And yet we're the ones that don't have any understanding of how the world works. It's ridiculous. These cocky globe heads, I'll tell you. I mean, the it's just simple. This is a common sense thing, and these people sit out here and they'll oh, come on, come and talk down to us. We're the ones with common sense out here. We're the ones that figure this out. We're not the ones that are outsourcing our intellect to a bunch of guys that we don't know. We're relying on our own experience. We walk outside, we go out to a lake. I mean, come on. If most of the water, or if most of the earth is water, we know that bodies of water lay flat. Period. We know how our eyes work. Oh, I saw a boat go over curvature. No, that's the way that your eyes work. You have to deal with the vanishing point. When you stand in a long hallway, you'll see the floor. It looks like it's going upward. You see the ceiling. It looks like it's curving downward. You see the hallways. It looks like they're going inward. That's the way your eyes work. The further away from you something gets, the smaller it becomes. The more that things look like they're gonna, converge into the vanishing point. That's the way it is. I mean, seriously, it's just, really, really common sense the way that we play this thing. But the whole idea of the globe believers saying these things it's just ridiculous. Let me get in the chat for a second, say what's up to some of y'all, and let me see. Oh man, got a lot of text messages there. Let me check some of these comments though. Let me see. I'll just read some of these comments real quick. Yeah. Let me see. Serengeti Tiger, what's up? Yeah, Delano is great. I'm saying I'd like to have a talk with him sometime. Effed Up World, hey, what's up? Christina Lee, art class. Yeah, I mean that's basic art. That's basic art. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's from high school art class. Easy. We all had to draw that one city street. Okay, we had to put that one point on the page. Hold on, let me see if I'm not even gonna draw right now. So look, we all had to put that point on the page, and then we had to draw the buildings, and we always had to slope it down to the vanishing point. We all did that in art class. I mean that should jog people's memory right there. Like, well, wait a minute, maybe that is how stuff works. Then again, they might not even be teaching art in school anymore. I mean, they're just trying to train people away from their common sense. Let me see. I got another. Let me see. I'm working on my presentation for this conference in South Korea. So here's a quote from let me see. It's an excerpt from page 7 of Quiet Weapons for Silent Wars about the education system. So it says the quality of education given to the lower class must be of the poorest sort, so that there is a moat of ignorance isolating the inferior class. With such an initial handicap, even bright lower class individuals have little, if any, hope of extricating themselves from their assigned lot in life. This form of slavery is essential to maintain some measure of social order, peace, and tranquility for the ruling upper class. That's what it is. I mean, they basically have the education system set up to where we lose our own sense of creativity, that we're not exercising our own minds. So that's where we are right now, and that's what we're up against. It's a info war as it is, and us just out here putting this information out as best we can. That's we're doing our part, and that's what it is. So let me see back in the chat. Let me see. Oh, DITRH. What's up, man? Dave's in the house. Tito Santana. What's up? Carolyn wanted me to shout out. There's a Flat Earth meetup in Portland, Oregon on the 10th. When did you say that was, Carolyn? What time is that? I'll probably be down. Chase Money in the house. I got you. Great work. How you doing? Mango. Carolyn, what time is that? I want to say it's in the evening time, as far as the meetup in Portland. But yeah, I'll be out there for that one. Let me see. No, Michi Miyagi, you saying people in Japan can walk upside down? They might be, but they're on some other stuff. Okay, that's just a few of them, and they've concentrated their chi at any rate. But No, that's the whole thing. That's why I love that one meme that I put up in that video. It was I believe it was Attitude Adjustment 2.0, where I held up that one meme. It was my favorite. This is my favorite one right here, y'all. See that one? Globe head logic. You're saying it's crazy for people to stand straight up on a flat earth, but yeah, people walking upside down, that's perfectly normal. Of course. That's my favorite meme of all time right there. Because it just makes the most sense. I mean, that's the most common sense, hard hitting meme that I had seen in a while. And I gotta thank the lady that put that one together once again. But yeah, man. Let me see what else we got. I don't wanna just be over here just talking just cause. Let me get in the chat. If anybody has any questions, I'm about to cut this thing off. I don't like to do these long things. Besides, it's getting dark out here. My artificial lights aren't really holding up as well as the sun was. All right. NASA CGI snakes. Yep. Big Dread in the house. You've been exposed. Still making moves. Penny J, all the way awake. Yes, sir. Mango, water does not curve. You are correct. Absolutely. All right. Effed up world. Carrie Musgrave. Oh, hey, Carrie. All right. All right. All right. But yeah, y'all, I just wanted to share those ideas as far as these globe believers saying that, you know, we're the ones that have to believe. No, we don't have to believe. We know what it is. We don't think the earth is flat. We know that the earth is flat. Miss Jones, China, how's it going? Love you too. So just wanted to get that out there, family. That's all I got for this one. Go ahead and cut it off right here. Probably get on and do another one of these things real quick. LaMichael Miller, I appreciate it. Thank you very much. But yeah, that's all I got for this one. I'll say goodbye to everybody in the chat, y'all. Got Glenn Parent, Beam 733, Eddie Machete. That's a cool name. Research Flat Earth, Wake Up. Got that right. Oh, chemtrails, what's going? Yeah. It's all about these chemtrails out here. It was a clear day out here in Washington, actually. Very, very clear. I didn't see any chemtrails today. So it was a good day here. I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody has a good evening. Origin One, what's up? McBice, what's going on? VA, Beam, what's good? Man apart. New York. I don't know about New York. I don't know about New York. It's probably gonna be a nice long time before I do all that. Cause yeah, I maybe we'll talk offline. But New York, I've never really had the desire to visit New York, to tell you the truth. I see Times Square, I see all those lights and advertisements and all that. That kind of makes my head hurt just a little bit seeing all this stuff. But that's all I got for this one, everybody. Probably try to hop on after work tomorrow, maybe with a little more sunlight. So as always, be good to each other. Take care of yourself. Stay flat. See you next time. Thank you.